Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be creating a quick video about the new Fiend or Fiend Hunter, right, or field boss that we are going to be having. It's going to be starting in just a couple of minutes from the time that I'm recording this video. And it's actually pretty interesting. I mean, I just want to go over the strategy for it. What are a couple of things that you can create, like for example, like a magical thing or a physical thing, or probably like a well thing that you can create as well, right? And I'm just going to be going over the basis of how you can probably just create a general thing in the scenario that you want to do something in a specific, right? But in any case, the new Fiend or Fiend, yeah, the new Fiend boss, right, is called E.O.N, and he's a light element kind of like machine, right, that has some machine guns and things like that, I guess, like some, I don't know what it is, right? But in any case, just keep in mind, guys, that it takes 100% more damage when you attack in the weak spots. In any other area, it's going to be taking 50% more damage. You are actually able to deal more damage. It is immune to knockback and silence, so it is always going to add. There is no way for you to avoid the enemy from attacking, so just keep that in mind, right? There are no strategies in which you just silence the enemy during the whole battle and then you would not have any problems with any of the attacks and then just kill it. That would not happen. Also, keep in mind that you need SP. You're only going to be having 10 SP at the start of the battle, and after the start of the battle, you're only going to be having 1 SP recover per turn. So just keep that in mind. That's going to be a part of the general basis of how to create a good team for the boss. The boss have an attack pattern, as you can see here. These are the abilities that he is going to be using, and this is the order in which the abilities are going to be used. The first ability is going to be attacking everyone in the battlefield, and not only that, this ability is going to be giving you a debuff that is going to increase the amount of chains that you are going to be able to accumulate, right? This one is going to attack 3 times and again give you the debuff, so it's going to be already building up a lot of chain damage on you. And then after this, there is another attack that is fixed in an area, right? When it says fix, it means that it is not going to be targeting an enemy, character of yours, but it's going to be attacking a specific area of the map. And pretty much what this means is that it is going to be attacking the entire map, right? And it attacks 5 times, and it gives you additional 2 change now for turns. So you are going to be receiving a lot of chain damage, so just make sure that you have your characters with the proper defenses to be able to survive. This one attacks 5 times, and it's 100% of the magical attack of the boss. Having characters that reduce the magical attack of the boss is very important, so Celia, definitely a must. We have then the next ability that also attacks the entire map. Again, you cannot avoid this. That's another thing. You cannot avoid the attacks of the boss. There is no way. So that characters like Rue, for example, that have the evasion skill, it would not work. And again, this again increases one additional chain, attacks 5 times, and this gives you a silence, which means is that during the turn of the boss attacks you, you are going to be having a silence, and then during the next turn, which is going to be yours, you're going to be having a silence as well, which means that by the time that you have to face this ability, that is one of the abilities that is definitely going to be killing one of your characters. Well, it says that it's fixed, so I guess you can move around, so you're not going to be receiving any damage. What you have to do is just move to the sides, and you will be able to avoid the damage, but you will not be able to use any abilities because you are going to be silenced during this turn. So what is going to happen is that this turn is just for you to deal some damage with basic attacks, and then the last turn of the boss, he's going to be using a skill that you pretty much kill everyone in your team. That's the generals of the boss. Now let's talk about teams, right, that we can create. And also, before I do that, let me talk to you guys about the rewards, right? As you know, it's 5 pulls per level that you clear, right? But Guys, if you are early new to the game, right, probably been playing for like 15 days to a month, you probably will be able to clear up until like the 5th level of it. Don't feel bad about it. That's fine and that's normal, right? Because you actually require to have a lot of things to be able to effectively clear this. And to be honest, guys, this is kind of some like whale content, to be honest, right? This is the place where whales come to, test, I mean, how much money they have used and how good it makes them, clearing these bosses and whatnot, right? If you have some time playing the game already, you should be able to get around level 7 to 8. That's somewhere in which you are going to be able to be, right? If you have like a couple of months or probably playing since the beginning of the game, I think this is the difficulty that you should be aiming for, like between level 7 and 8, right? And yeah, if you're a whale, you probably will be able to get all the way up until level 10, right? Or beyond that. In anyways, I mean, the only thing that matters is to get to level 10, to be honest, right? So just get to level 10 is all the rewards, because aside from that, then it's going to be just gold, and I don't know, gold is not that important. Yeah. So now let's talk about teams, because I know some of you guys want to know which are the teams that you should be using and how should you be using those teams as well, right? So let me just go here and show you a couple of compositions, right? So let's start with let's go here. Let's start with the magical team, right? So for the magical team, it all depends on the characters that you have, but the standard should always be to use Diana, right? Diana is the character that you're always going to be using in Field Hunt, either for physical or for magical teams. So it doesn't matter, right? So it's going to be Diana and Helena, right? These two, very important. You have the damage increase and crit rate and shields from Diana, and you have the healing, critical rate, and magical attack increase from Helena. Then, aside from that, you're going to be using Celia, because she's going to be increasing your damage with the chain damage and all whatnot, right? And she's going to be the one that is going to be allowing you to build more damage into your characters, right? Lastly, another character that you definitely need is Lucretia. And Lucretia is very important because she's the character that is going to allow you to recover SP. The ability for Lucretia, I'm going to be showing it in a moment, allows you to recover 3 SP per part or per enemy that she attacks. And she attacks 2 times with the ability, which means that per enemy that she's able to attack, she's going to be recovering you 6 SP. And for this boss, she's going to be able to attack the boss and hit at least 4 parts of it, which means that you're going to be recovering 6 times 4. We'll leave you guys to do the math on that. So pretty much it's going to be having your SP bar full every time that she uses the ability. So definitely a must to have in a character that you could build as a tank to be the one to receive all the burns, or the damage of the boss and all of that, right? And then lastly, this is a flex spot that you can use for magical team. You may be able to use something like, for example, what's the name of it? Angelica, or you can maybe use Eclipse, right? Or if you have Scheherazade, you may be able to use Scheherazade there, right? It all depends on what you have. I'm going to be leaving this one as a flex, but this is going to be the template for magical. Now, for physical, we keep in Diana, as I said before, and then we have to add another character that gives us the physical damage increase. Where it is? Okay, we will need to have this for the physical damage increase, and then it's just a matter to go with like pure damage. This build would not have any survivabilities because it's going to be very complicated to fit a healer here. You may sacrifice some damage, some attack from Arines, and just have the healing from was it Helena, right? Instead, depending. If you don't have Helena, well, it doesn't matter, right? Just don't use her. And then we need an speed recovery character, right? That in this case is going to be Lilia, right? Lilia is going to be our speed recovery character. And then aside from Lilia, we can use, for example, character that allows us to deal damage to all of the weak spots. Like for example, can be where is it? Regenet, a 3-star. Regenet would allow you to focus on the middle part, and then you can use something like, for example, Cry, and then Cry will be able to use his ability to attack the middle and to attack all of the weak spots whenever he uses his ability, right? And yeah, so this is going to be a combination that would allow you to have the SP that you are going to be needing. Is going to be allowing you to have the kind of a little bit of survivability and damage, and this is a free to play kind of composition. The only problem is Diana, that you actually need to have, you know, a couple of copies on her, right? But if you don't want to use something like this, of course we have the option of using Rue as well, right? Because Rue is going to be able to attack like many of the weak spots of the enemy. You have the option as well to use Justia instead, right? So for example, it's going to be something like this and this, right? And then they are going to be able to survive because they are light elements, so the boss is not going to be dealing that much damage to them, right? You also have the option to use Alieneer. If you have Alieneer and your Alieneer is well built, this is another option that you have available. And yeah, aside from that, I think those are the configurations that I would recommend you guys to do. Let me know, guys, just put it in the chat which are the teams that you're going to be using. Just I want to know what are going to be the strategies that you're going to be following. Of course, if you have what's the name of this? I forgot. Zenith. If you have Zenith, of course you can use Zenith instead of the name instead of Regenet, right? Because she's going to be able to attack many times, give you an increase of damage due to the chain damage, and she also allows you to focus on the enemy, on the part of the enemy that you want to attack, right? So if you have her, she's definitely going to be the replacement for Regenet, right? Again, guys, remember, all of your characters would need to be built to have 90% magical resistance. Like for example, you see my Diana here. I would need, so far I have 53%, so I would need to use an armor with more magical resistance. Like, I don't see anything that's good here. And now I have 82% magical resistance, and that is still not enough. So I would need to see if I probably can change these and these and get some additional magical resistance to her. But I need to get to 95%. So if you don't have magical resistance gear, just make sure that you are crafting it. So you need tier 4 magical resistant gear with some magical resistance, what is this called? Rolls as well. You don't really need the rolls because, I mean, if you, for example, if you can see here, all I have to do is just re-roll this until I get magical resistance here, and then I would be good to go, right? For example, let's just check it out right now. Right, I think, I mean, there's no problem if I change probably this. Nah. I just do it. Right, okay, I need to retray. What? What is the magical resistance? Bro. What? Okay, there it is. Wow. Took me a lot. Okay, so now you can see here that I have 110 magical resistance, which means that I can, you know, use probably something different here and do a couple of changes. But pretty much my Diana is ready to use versus the boss. Remember again, the cap is 95%, so it doesn't matter if you have more than that. So this video is long enough already, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you here. I hope that whatever I'm saying here is going to be helpful for you, that you can, you know, have some guide on how to face this boss and get as many rewards as you can. As always, guys, thank you again, and see you in the next one. Peace.